What's up? What's going on? What's happening out there? How y'all doing? I say, how y'all doing out there? Boy, today is going to be wild. Not wild in the sense of crazy things are going to happen. Things are going to be wild in terms of the type of conversations we're going to have. Because I got to tell y'all, last night's loss, it forced me to have a conversation that I don't think I'm ready to have. Last night's loss forced me to do the thing that I make sure I do no matter what. And that's just call it like I see it. I wrote some stuff down before the show started. I have some things prepared that I'm going to get into. And there's a lot to dig into. And today's show, the start of today's show will mostly be focused on the Padres-Dodgers series, not because it was a massive loss or not. The wins and losses are not what I'm walking away talking about after that series. And then eventually I'm going to get into what happened with the Thunder and the Spurs last night, which I think Harshenstein is still fouling Wemby somewhere on the planet. But before I get to any of that, if you guys want to be a part of the show, you got to email your boy, the John Browner Podcast at gmail.com. That's how you help the show by being a part of the show. You come say your piece on the show. In addition to that, as you guys always know, I want you to like, share, and subscribe this particular show on YouTube. We are marching to 300, and I think we're now down to the 50 range. So shout out to anybody and everybody who has been subscribing the show or sharing the show. If you're watching this show on Twitter, please do me a massive favor and just retweet it. That's it. Even if you're not watching the show on Twitter, go on Twitter, retweet the show, and then just log off. Numbers, baby. Numbers. Okay? Now, let's do this. What it do, Andre? What's good, fam? Welcome. Always good to see you. Let's have this conversation. Let's do it. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let me see. Is this the one? No, this is the one. Now, look, I don't want to be that person. And we can talk about how Manny did this and did that. But let's talk about some parts of the game first before we get to that. I thought Ohtani did what Ohtani does. The fact that he homered I think it was the first pitch of the game, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's always cool for the other team. I mean, it's cool to see. He is such a, I call him old phony back on the other show. Shout out to my brothers. I still call him old phony, but because I think it's cool. But what he's doing is kind of dope. You can't front. He led the game off with a home run and then pitched, I think it was five or six innings. He then went out there and pitched into success for, I think, 5 or 6. Yeah, I think it was 6 innings last night. So, you can't really be that mad at what you saw. You're witnessing history every time he takes them out. I know as a Padre fan, you don't want to hear that shit, but the facts are what the facts are. It was a 4-0 game. In addition, it was to a 4-0 game. You had Manny Machado go 0 for 4 with a strikeout. The pitching wasn't that bad. Randy Vasquez wasn't that bad. 6 hits, 3 runs. And then in cleanup, you give up another run. But Ohtani went 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, in addition to a home run and then a walk and scoring again. So he provided 2 of the 4 runs by crossing the plate. But again, this is not something I'm here to really beat the drum about. It's not the game. What it do, B. Thompson? I'm not here to beat the drum about the game in particular. I'm here to beat the drum about one person in particular. The San Diego Padres have a Manny problem. And they have a massive money problem. In any sport, if you were making $21 million in a sport, and that's up there. That's up there. Manny Machado is one of the highest paid players playing baseball this year. Let me look at this out because I really didn't think about this before the show started. I just thought about this right now. Highest paid players in the MLB 2026. Because it's, let me see. Damn, Bo Bichette making $42 million? My point being this. That's not really my point. My point is I know that he's making $21 million this year. And to be making $21 million and to be batting 178, that's not it. That's not it. Now, listen, you could sit here and say they don't have a Manny problem. They have Manny problems. That's awesome. That's a good play on words. But yes, they do. If I'm going to give you $21 million, you can't bat 100. You can't. You cannot bat 100. The Padres have down the line, and we talked about this, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And I'll bring it up again. Tatis, 239. And Duar, 290. Sheets, 254. But Sheets has been good lately. Manny, 178. Bogarts, 247. And by the way, he leads them in home runs and RBI. He leads them in a ton of stats, batting 247. Merrill, 203. Johnson, 207. 194 for Castellanos. Laureano, 215. Fermin, 149. It goes down the list. It goes down the list. And so we have to have this conversation, and we have to have this conversation honestly. If you want to, there's nothing wrong with supporting Manny Machado because I'm still going to support Manny Machado. But you have to talk about the issue that exists at hand. There's no other way. There's no other way to slice this. And again, if you're on the show, I want to increase this conversation because I want everybody's input on this. Retweet this show on Twitter so that we can get more people in this conversation and so we can get everybody's input on it because I honestly believe. And also subscribe to the show on YouTube. There's a button. There's a button here. Let me see. Let me see. Where are you at? There's a button here to help with that. Where you at? Bam. Like and subscribe. This thing that we're doing as Padres fans or people covering the Padres, this dance we're doing around Manny Machado's got to stop. It really does. It has to stop. In any other market, imagine if Manny Machado was making $300 million, $21 million this year, $40 million next year. What the talk about him would be in New York? What the conversation would be about him in Chicago? What the conversation would be about him in Los Angeles? So as the San Diego media, which I consider myself, check out the merch. As the San Diego media, I got to be honest with what I'm seeing because if I'm not honest with what I'm seeing, then I feel disingenuous about the way that I'm talking to y'all. And that ain't how I get down. That ain't how I do business. Andre, you're right. Tatis and Merrill are young. I can live with that. Manny is 33, and he's only going to decline as the years go on. That's the problem. That's the problem. Again, I'm not here to jump up and down about the series. I thought they played well. They could have won 2 or 3 games. We talked about Mason Miller and Ty France's disconnection on the pickoff play, and that kind of decided the game. They won game one in knockout, drag out fashion. And this one just kind of got away from them. Like I said, I thought Vasquez played well. You give up 3 runs, you should still be a part of the win. The Padres' offensive struggles reared its ugly head again. Ohtani wasn't dominant on the mound. He was efficient enough to register for the win and, get them to a place where they could put a plethora of guys in to finish off the job. But the idea that what I walked away with from this series, and many homered yesterday, so you got to give credit where credit is due. But I walked away from this series really feeling like since the start of the season, we're 50-plus games into a 162-game season. I always say baseball's a long season, but when you get to certain points, Padres are 49 games. When you get to certain points, you have to have conversations about what you've seen over the first 50 games. Over the first 50 games, what we've seen from Manny Machado at $21 million, this is not going to cut it. This literally will not cut it. I don't know how he breaks out of this. I don't know how he comes back from this. I don't know where we go from this. He is notoriously a slow starter. But you're slow starting now in the 150s, 170s, 160s. Where you're slow starting now, you're going to need a gargantuan effort in the next 110 games to break out of this. And I don't see the gargantuan effort for the numbers to end and look sufficient. So next year, and when he's 34, what's the number? $40 million a year after this. We still gonna be quiet about the 140? We still gonna be quiet about the 170, 180, 210? Huh? All right, okay, listen. As y'all know, I always pay attention to the comments. Now let's have this conversation. Let's have this conversation. Because I knew at some point one of y'all would come in here. I knew at some point one of y'all would come in here. So, hey, dummy. Yeah, talking to you. Hey, dummy, whatever this is, you're probably one of these people with no post on their accounts who come in my inbox and talk crazy. You are talking about something that you don't understand. You're talking about something that you should probably go back and watch that video, because I never said anything about mariachis. Never, not once, not one time. So you got on the bandwagon of whatever they turned it into on the internet and different parts of it, because it was everywhere, and you heard what you wanted to hear. Now, I don't have to protect anybody's job anymore. I can speak for what it is. Go watch the video. I never said anything about mariachi at all. But if that's what y'all want to do with it, y'all go ahead and do with it. It's in the past. I've spoken about it. I've handled it, and I moved forward from it. Period. End of story. But if you come in here with this goofy shit, you gonna get cooked. I'm telling you right now. You gonna get cooked, and then your ass gonna get blocked, and you can run on up out of here. Period. End of story. It doesn't. Look, again, look. People who are in the comments, people who are here, listen, it doesn't make any sense because Trump is against minorities. Bitch, I'm not a Trump supporter. This is what y'all don't understand. And this is what I'm telling y'all. This ain't the place for y'all. You stupid motherfucker. I'm not a Trump supporter. I've never been a Trump supporter. So somehow you found your way to this show imagining that you were going to come and confront a Trump supporter. You stupid bitch. I'm not a Trump supporter. Never have been, never will be. Let me also visit something here. I know who you are, but I'm glad you came and I'm glad you said that. Yes, his name is MAGA Brown. Yeah, bitch, MAGA Brown's a character. MAGA Brown's a bit. MAGA Brown's not a real person. And this is why this makes you look even fucking stupider. Because I knew y'all would come in here at some point, and I've been waiting for one of you dumbass motherfuckers to come in here. And I'm glad you brought your dumbass in here today. I really am. Because if you knew anything about me, as all these other people do who follow me, who've been with me for 7 years, the people who've gotten to know me in person for years, the folks who still rock with me from day one to today. These folks supported the show, the Kaplan and Crew show, and these folks supported me from day one when this dumbass shit happened because they know my character. They know Alex's character. They know Scott's character. They know how we operate within the San Diego community. But dumbass motherfuckers like you don't know shit about what you're talking about. So now you come in here talking about it doesn't make sense because Trump is against minorities. You dumbass bitch, I'm against Trump. But you don't know that because you ran with whatever the internet told you to run with. You got mad with the mob, and y'all all got y'all pitchforks, and y'all came after folks. Not knowing shit, not knowing anything about anything. You did no fucking research, because if you did any fucking research on any of my pages, you would see me out here roasting Trump. 2, you would have saw me roasting Trump in the fucking video you watched because I called him Captain Orange. Who respects him called him Captain Orange? Who? That's all. That's all. I'm glad you came. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. You in particular, do not subscribe to this show. Don't do it. Not at all. I don't need you, bitch. I don't need you. And I hope you're gone by now. I hope you're gone, bitch, because you probably one of these pussies who puts them in my comment with no face, no name, because you a coward, just like right now. You ain't got no picture in there. That ain't your real name. That ain't your real name because you a bitch. Because you a bitch. And like I said, I've been waiting for one of y'all to come in here. I've been waiting. Because I'm telling y'all, I'm not protecting nobody's job. This me, I'll run this, bruh. I'll run this. And if you come in here with this goofy shit, your ass gonna get smoked. If you thought I was a Trump supporter, then you a lazy, dumbass bitch who don't want to do you don't even want to slide down one page on anything I own. Any social media platform that I own, you too fucking lazy to do one fucking swipe down, one to see me talking shit about Donald Trump. You're so fucking dumb, you can't even hear the satire and me calling him Captain Orange. So you're fucking stupid, whoever this person is. And I don't want you to follow. I don't want you to subscribe. I don't want you to retweet. I want you to get the fuck up out of here because that's what's about to happen to you. See y'all again. I run this. And so when folks got to go, they got to go, bruh. They got to go, bruh. When folks got to go, they got to go. Now I got to get this shit off my screen. Let me see. Where is that? Maybe I'll put another one in there. There we go. There we go. All right. Now we solid. Hold on, my phone ringing. People must be seeing me cussing folks out on the show. So I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. We not finna entertain that in here. We not finna entertain that. Because I have not had the opportunity to speak to these folks. And I left that shit alone. I really did leave it alone because it's in the past for me. I'm doing this. I'm working forward. But I knew at some point, one of you fucking morons was going to come in here talking that goofy shit. And maybe it'd be a coincidence because I'm wearing the same hat I was wearing when I said that. So now you actually can identify me. But I'm here to tell you. I ain't never had nothing against Mexican folks. Me and Alex been rocking together for 10 years. 10 fucking years. And it's sad what happened. It's sad what y'all did to that man. It's sad the way y'all cowards went after him. But a bunch of you, no post, no picture, bot account motherfuckers who came in here calling me racist names and calling him racist names. Not in here you ain't. Not in the John Browner podcast you ain't. Yeah, it did. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. David P said they had to feel good, Brown. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I've been waiting. I've been waiting on one. I've been waiting on it because stupidity tends to, you know, show up in places they're not supposed to. See, that shit flies on the internet when I can't say anything back because there's too many comments and, blah 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 blah. I can't really get to it. You come in here, I run the clock in here. I can get to you. I 100%. I can get you, baby. So you bring that goofy shit in here, your ass is cooked, and then your ass is blocked. Period. End of story. I'm working on this. I've talked to him about it. He said he'll come on at some point. I'm gonna talk, and I don't know when. I don't want this to turn into, I don't want this to turn into a space where, we are rehashing or relitigating or we're trying to recreate something to, save face, because that's not what we're doing. I've said my piece about it. On different platforms to different people. He said his piece about it, and he's cool with what he's doing now, and he's taking his life in a different direction. But he'll come on. He will 100% come on before the season is over. It'll be up to him to talk about it. You guys will have to go in the chat and ask him about it because he will be able to see the chat. But, that's up to him. That's up to him. Okay, that's up to him. Yeah, we could talk about the Padres having 13 scoreless innings. As long as you stop inviting your friends in here, we could do that. All right, back to what I was saying. Let me drink some of my juice real quick. All right, so let's do this. Back to what I was saying. Let me get the nope. This. Oh wait, this is probably not the best time to say this, but shout out to all my friends at the Sporting Tribune. I forgot to do this at the start of the show. Shout out to all my people at the Sporting Tribune. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all for giving me an opportunity to kind of, find my way back to sports conversation. The Sports Tribune, the TST at night after the games has been fantastic. I hope you guys are able to check that out. Head over there, like their page, follow what they're doing. You'll see me pop up on some of their stuff too on YouTube at night. Now, back to what I was saying. This is the biggest problem that the Padres are going to have going forward. Tatis is reimagining his game. I think going forward, he's going to play second base, not right field. Who told y'all that before he started playing second base? It was me. Now, at the end of the game, for defensive purposes, they might move him back out to right field from time to time. But I think you're going to start seeing him more frequently at second base because I think it's better for him mentally in the game to be at second base. Since he's been at second base more often, I think you've seen an uptick in his play at the plate. I think if he continues at second base, I think you'll continue to see him play better at the plate. In addition to that, Jackson Merrill, also very young player. The other large contract is Jackson Merrill. He is in between, but as a young player, I expect for him to find his way. His better days are ahead of him. I believe Fernando Tatis Jr., despite how unfortunate some of this is, his better days are ahead of him. Xander Bogaerts, I think this is the best we're going to get out of the money that we're giving him. But he's performing. He's performing at a higher level than he was today. So for me, you're getting what you're going to get from Xander Bogaerts. And where he was to where he is now is night and day. So I don't have a problem with Xander and what they're paying him because our expectations were so low for him. For him to now have come up and played well and put himself in a position where he has actually led the team in multiple categories, that's a plus. That's a plus. That's a plus. But our Manny Machado issue is he is batting under 200. We're 50 games into the season. And so this isn't like some, oh, 2 weeks he's batting 150, 160, 170, 180. We're 50 games into the season. I think this is two quarters. We're not halfway, but we're 2 quarters into the season. And it really feels like this is going to be the year where you have to look back and go, what happened to him this year? Because to my knowledge, he has not had any injuries. To my knowledge, he hasn't had any physical limitations that's impacting his swing. He's had plenty of days off up until this point. So Craig Stammen's plan for him seems to be going along accordingly, but he's not hitting. Where he is at in the lineup, you're never going to move him down. He will never go lower than fifth. Never, ever. And so this idea that you're going to keep hitting him third, fourth, or fifth, and his batting average is going to keep sinking. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me do a little. Let me go a little deeper. Let me see. He's played 49 games, home runs. I think that's it. Batted home run 7. Correction. He's got 7 home runs. He's predicted to end the season with 23 home runs. Against the Dodgers, he went 1 for 8. I just I don't. I see you, Latina Lisa. Shout out, girl. I really don't know. As a Padre fan base, we're still going to continue to support Manny Machado. I'm not saying that everybody's abandoning ship on Manny Machado. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is that, let me check the numbers again because I wrote it down. At $21 million, he's batting, because again, I want to get these numbers correct. He's batting, what is it? Where is it? Where is it? 178. Is that good enough for you? And we support him through his struggles. Understand what I'm saying to you. I'm not dissing him. I'm calling to attention the issue that this organization now has. Remember, they have new owners. These owners didn't cut that check. So at one, again, clear his throat, 78, it now might be time to start having a discussion about what do we do with the rest of it. He's going to be 33 next year, and we are out of the, this is going to sound wild. We're past the stage of the steroid baseball player. Again, leave the Tatis jokes out of this. We're past that stage. So guys Barry Bondsing this, setting home run records in their late 30s, that ain't happening no more. I saw a stat where it said, I think it's 12 Major League Baseball teams are batting under 250 as a team. That's never happened before. So whatever this is, it's everywhere. And that's why I'm saying we're not abandoning him. Whatever this epidemic that's happening in baseball that is having all the batting averages drop. This is the issue that I'm talking about, because he feels like he's a major part of what needs to be solved in that area. How are they approaching hitting where 12 teams are batting less than 250 as a team? What's changed? Because this wasn't a problem 10 years ago. It was 1 or 2 teams. I've seen the statistics. So I am not in the business of tossing guys out because they're struggling. I am in the business of talking about what you see in front of you, about what it is. And that, again, check notes. 178 with $40 million due to him next year, $21 million checks he's $21 million in checks he's cashing this year and betting 178 on May 21st, 49 games into the season. To get to, I don't know, 280, which is somewhere he should be, to be hitting 280 on average, to get to that, he's going to have a monster couple of weeks. To end the season at 280, he's going to have a monster couple of months. Because you're getting to the point in games where his production on the back end of this is going to have to be so monstrous for this to make any sense, for this to be called a slow start. It's going to have to be MVP level. And I think he's past those days. That's my opinion. And again, you've got new ownership, and with new ownership comes new directives. Their opinion, and I don't know how heavy-handed they're going to be on these types of things, but if I ran a business that I gave a guy $21 million to, and he was performing so far beneath that, we got to talk about it. Graham, pitching is better, and everyone's trying to hit home runs because that's what gets the big contracts. He's got the big contract, Graham. He's got the big contract, and this is the part of it that baffles me. This isn't a situation where he's trying to prove anything. Manny Machado doesn't have to prove wow, that's poor English. Manny Machado has to prove nothing to anyone about his career. They don't write those checks for everybody. Manny Machado has proven himself year after year after year to be a consistent franchise cornerstone for the San Diego Padres. He took that money when nobody else was taking that money. Yeah, again, let's remember, let's not have revisionist history. He was the first person to take that money and say, okay, we can do this here. And he's played a large part in the success of the San Diego Padres. But at the same time, he's been well compensated for that. And in professional sports, it's not what have you done for me, it's what have you done for me lately. Do, 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 do. Ooh, yeah. Don't mind a Janet Jackson reference. But that's professional sports, dog. He knows that. He's not some kid. He's not some wide-eyed kid who just got from the minors into the bigs. He ain't one of these guys this year that they just gave the money to before they even played a Major League Baseball game and gave him a 10-year contract. That's not who this guy. This guy is a professional in every sense of the word. So he understands and knows what the situation he's gotten himself into, making $21 million and batting 178 on May 21st. Because that's my problem today. That's the problem we're talking about today. I've already crushed Jake Cronenworth. Second guy, they're paying a decent, not a lot in baseball terms, but they're paying a decent amount of money to him. Have you seen him? Another song. Tell me, have you seen him? No more singing today. Hold on. I got a lot going on, y'all. Give me a second. Let me drink some more juice. From the comment section, Muncy was garbage for months last year until he got those bifocals. Yeah, Graham, I did talk about, I did. So I just, again, from the comment section, Biggie, it seems like the Giants always are at the bottom offensively, but your boy Arise is killing it. Wow, thanks for that, Padres. Too bad the Giants bullpen is a dog pile, a doodle pile. Yeah. That's the guy you didn't want on this roster because he hit for average. That's a guy who hit for average. Oh, whoa, thank you for saying this. I'm not saying that we should set this on fire I'm not saying that we should all abandon ship because with everything, with Cronenworth batting in the low 140s, with Manny batting in the 170s, with Merrill batting in the low 200s, with all these things that are happening, they're still in playoff position. So I don't want this conversation to get confused. And maybe you just got here, you missed the beginning of this. I'm not saying that we're abandoning anything, but we need to start having conversations as to how we got here. Because if we don't identify a problem, we can't fix it. If we don't identify something, we can't call attention to it. If we don't identify something, what can we do about it? I'm sure I can promise you, he's aware of it. I can also promise you, he's working on fixing it. But as you age in professional sports, there's some things that you cannot turn back. Father Time is one of them. Undefeated. And again, at 40 million next year, again, let me try to, at 40 million next year, at 21 million this year. We cannot not talk about this. This cannot not be a topic of conversation. If I can kill Cronenworth for being pathetic at the plate and in the field, Manny Machado's not above criticism. Manny Machado's not in a space where he's brought some World Series rings in here and we got to give him grace. We are talking as if we are talking about Manny Machado. Some people appear to be favoring Manny Machado. Not all. Some people seem to be favoring Manny Machado as if because he was the first person and he's one of the cornerstones to turn this organization around, that somehow he's above criticism. Not making $21 million batting 170. No. At 220, I left him alone. At 215, I left him alone. At 200, I left him alone. You get below the Mendoza line, buddy, everybody's free game. I don't care how much money you make. And I'm a fan. But when you get below 200 and you start hitting like Jake Cronenworth, I'm going to cook your ass. And when you start hitting at 178, like Manny Machado is, I'm not going to cook his ass, but we need to have conversations about his ass. That's all, man. That's all. I see you in here, Dad. I see you in here. You in here talking crazy right now about my Padres, dog. I don't know if I'm a let this stand. I'm not going to. I have a shout. Okay. Sporting Tribune. I was on Sporting Tribune last night, but when the show ended, we went into overtime. And my dog Grant. Shout out to Grant from the Sporting Tribune. Grant is a Dodger fan. Okay, and Grant was whining. I'm gonna have Grant on this show. That's what I'm gonna do. I know y'all don't want to hear from Dodger fans in here, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring Grant on this show from the Sporting Tribune, and we're going to talk about he was upset with the Dodgers. Okay, Grant's one of these Dodger fans. He's upset with their performance. So, they're on every team, I guess. I'm going to get Grant on because Grant was funny last night. Shout out to Grant. Shout out to the Sporting Tribune. Let's look at some of these comments. Margaret. My mother's name was Margaret. Shout out. Hey, John. Glad I finally figured out what happened to y'all, but I'm glad I found your show. Miss you guys for the last several weeks. We miss you too, girl. Miss you too. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. Love you. All right. Now that I'm sweating under this hat and this sweater. By the way, merch shop, the John Browner Podcast. The John Browner Podcast shop on Shopify. Head over there, buy a t-shirt, help the show keep rolling. I'm gonna put up something to help walk y'all through that. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Let's talk about last night's basketball game. I'm okay. We're at the 40-minute mark, and so I try to keep this thing at the 45, 50 minutes. Yesterday we went very long with John Gennaro, so shout out to John Gennaro for coming on. I am a huge Wemby fan, but I thought what we saw last night that can't continue. Not from the standpoint of Victor Wembanyama, because Victor Wembanyama still played well, still gave you a monstrous double-double. Shout out to Prize Picks for dropping your boy some free cash and then me turning that free cash into some cash by betting on Wemby. This idea that you can hold his arm while he's jumping, this idea that you can ram into him while he's running up the court, impeding his progress, the NBA was drowning in muscle ball, is what I like to call it. When I grew up, it was muscle ball. Guys who looked like physical wrestlers out there on the basketball court because the game was so physical. Adam Silver and David Stern at the end of his tenure developed something called freedom of movement. What you saw last night in the Thunder game in SGA was fantastic. Great game by SGA, a true MVP performance when his team needed it. We'll talk about the injuries that occurred in that game, but I want to get this point out the way first. Frankenstein, the guy guarding Wemby, that's how I'm going to call him Frankenstein from now on. His name's Harshenstein, Isaiah Harshenstein. I'm going to call him Frankenstein because all he's doing is chopping people up out there. That's if he's in the game to simply just foul Victor Wembanyama at all times whenever he can get away with it, because they're not going to call every foul, and I don't expect for them to call every foul because you need freedom of movement. You need a rhythm based in the game. But you cannot allow what happened in game 2 to Victor Wembanyama to continue. You just can't. What we saw last night on that court was bad for basketball. Victor Wembanyama giving you a 40-20 game in his first Western Conference Finals. Did you know that was the highest rated Western Conference Finals game ever? Game 1. Let me repeat that. It was the highest rated Western Conference Finals game 1 ever. And they've been playing basketball for a long time on TV. Ever. And then you follow that up with them. Sometimes sports can look alike. You can see things in football and then see it in basketball. You can see something in baseball and see it in football. You see these things. And they go, oh, that looks familiar. That looks like football. What Frankenstein was doing out there looked like he was a left tackle protecting his quarterback from a pass rusher. The broadcast team at NBC put together a highlight package of fouls from Frankenstein. It was that bad and that often. It wasn't one play or two plays. It was like 40 plays. But they only had enough time to show you about 8 or 9 of them. So the NBA cannot allow this to continue. I expect, because at some point, if you keep roughing this dude up, he is about 90 pounds and 7'4". He will get hurt. You can only yank a guy's arm down so many times while he's jumping to get a rebound. I know he's 7'4" with a 9-foot reach, but at some point, that shoulder's going to pop out. And that's just not going to be a common foul. If, for whatever reason, in some way, shape, or form, there's video of Chet Holmgren literally stepping on his ankle on purpose during a box out. At some point, and that's some whole shit, Chet. At some point, if he gets hurt and he has to be removed from this series due to injury, the Oklahoma City Thunder's inability to defend him naturally, to resort to these level of tactics, will give them such a bad name. It will give them such a negative image. I don't know if they care about that, but it will give them such a negative image that they will lose every ounce of goodwill that they've earned by trying to get back-to-back championships, by having a 2-time MVP on their team. This ain't the bad boy Pistons. These guys ain't built like that. But that's dirty basketball that they're doing out there. Again, SGA had a fantastic performance. I thought Wemby had a solid performance. I saw Stephon Castle minus the turnovers had a solid performance. Dylan Harper getting hurt without De'Aaron Fox being there really hurt them down the stretch. And I think Jamal Williams, J-Dub, being hurt as well hurt the Thunder down the stretch. But they've played without him enough in the playoffs and during the regular season because of his hamstring that they can find a way through it. But missing him going forward is going to be detrimental. It's going to be tough not having him on the court. So we can't have that. Let's clear some of that up, NBA, because I want good games. I want good competition. What I don't want is guys getting hurt because guys can't defend somebody. If you can't defend somebody, that's on you, bro. Y'all need a better game plan. But if your game plan is to grab and pull, to dive at legs, to step on feet on purpose, to lock up arms, to pull. Frankenstein was out there pulling hair last night. So I don't know, man. NBA got to do something. Let's talk. Let's hit some of these comments. Now, again, I don't proofread these. So be careful. Biggie. Hey, every team has what they call a goon that is there to be physical and use all their fouls. True. I saw that every game of Jordan's career in Detroit, Boston, New York. The old Seattle team had that. Yeah, man, but this is a different NBA. Again, like I talked about, we out of muscle basketball. We out of the physical era of basketball. This is supposed to be the freedom of movement. And I like a little bumping. I like a little grinding. I like a little physical contact in the paint. But at half court, pulling guys' dreads, pulling guys' arms down while they jumping to get rebounds, some of this is not old school NBA. Some of this is just dirty basketball. And I think Frankenstein out here doing some dirty basketball. His goonery is at a 10. And I think it's time for the Spurs to put Bismack Biyombo in and do some goonery as well. Because Chet Holmgren could get this too. You could put Bismack Biyombo in simply to protect Victor Wembanyama from Frankenstein. That's what I expect to see in Game 3. I expect to see Bismack Biyombo rip off the warm-ups and come in the game. And the Thunder need to know, if you see Bismack Biyombo checking the game, and it's a close game, buddy, he ain't coming in there for good sportsmanship. He on that bench, and he got to earn his money too. They're going to find a dirty player somewhere on that bench in Game 3, and they're going to put him in because there's too much tape on Frankenstein now. There's too much tape on Chet doing dirty stuff to Wemby. Wemby took care of business himself in last round when he elbowed Naz Reid. Spurs can't have that again. They can't lose Wemby for another game because Wemby's got to protect himself. Now the Spurs have to protect Wemby. Now the Spurs have to find somebody to come out there and throw a bow. And my vote is for Bismack Biyombo. As always, man, I love kicking it with y'all. I love talking to y'all, man. Let's get this show to 300 subscribers on YouTube. Also, I'm not going to apologize for what I said earlier, but I didn't lose my cool. Actually, I enjoyed that. So I'm not apologizing at all. What I will say is this. If you're going to be a part of this show, and I want everybody to like and subscribe, if you are on Twitter, retweet the show. I'd greatly appreciate it if you went on your Twitter account and you reposted this show and then, X'd out of Twitter, man. But the numbers reflect that when it's reshared on Twitter, when it's reposted on Twitter, the numbers skyrocket. So if everybody come here and everybody can give the opportunity to go over to their X account, even if you don't use it, and repost the show, I'd 100% appreciate it. Subscribe to the show. Great numbers today. I appreciate y'all. Probably because I was talking crazy to this troll who came in here thinking that this shit is like, we got some sponsors we got to protect. Nah, fam, fuck that. You come in here with that, your ass is BBQ. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Cooked and then blocked. So like the show, subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe while you like. If you're on the YouTube page, like it. That helps the analytics too. That helps me get into different streams when the show is liked. So it's been a fun 50 minutes. I'll see y'all tomorrow. As always, stay safe, baby.